Well, it's great to welcome Nigel back. Couldn't make it last weekend because of the long weekend. You're obviously out of town.
I was out of town, but I'm back in town now and in full swing.
Yes, and good to see you again.
Yes, and yourself, Simon. Now, tonight I'd like to put myself out of business. How does that sound?
Oh, come on.
You do work too hard. You need a good break. So how can people put you out of business?
Well, believe it or not, all of my jobs are all man-made problems. Things that, the way we design shopping centres, the way that we design homes, chimneys, flues, under houses, all these things.
That's a very good point. They are too. When I stop and think about it, I couldn't think of a time that Nigel would be called out to anything that doesn't have a human-related, even things like birds getting caught in fishing line and
Absolutely.
stuff. Where does fishing line come from? Us.
Yes, everything I do is man-made. Very rarely do I do a natural occurrence, which would be a bird that's got its leg caught in a tree. I did a job tonight up in Upwey for a magpie. I was actually a bit upset about this because some of the major wildlife groups and other organisations were notified about this particular job from 8 o'clock this morning. We had a magpie that somehow got himself stuck between a skylight on the outside of the roof and the tiles. There's a little lip just underneath the skylight, and I've never done one of these rescues before, but this baby magpie had somehow got himself caught underneath the lip, and he's been there all day today, struggling, fighting, trying to get his way out, and by the time I got to him tonight, there was blood all the way down the side of him, and his wings in a really bad way. So I'm yet to hear what the end result on that one is. But as I say, yes, all of my work is all man-made related, and there's a lot of things that the public can do to stop animals and put me out of business. The most common rescue I deal with is animals down chimneys, down for open fireplaces or down inside the flue. It is very, very simple to put a little bit of wire mesh over the top of the chimney with a bit of cement around it that holds it in place, and that guarantees you'll never have to ring me for an animal down the chimney. Now,
I recommended that to you years ago.
You did, absolutely, because we get the possums that go down them almost every night. At the moment, we're getting all the Indian miners, and we're getting rainbow lorikeets going down them, and including ducks. I've done about 8 duck rescues over the last couple of months.
They sit down a chimney?
Yes, they do, Phil. They actually think the top of the chimney pot is like a hollow tree to them, and they think it's a great little nesting site. And they go down until they fall in and end up down on the ground level there. So sealing your chimneys, sealing off the flues of your range hoods, that's another one. I have seen the new range hoods that are out these days. They do have a little bit of mesh around the cowling at the very top. You can buy them from Bunnings. So if you've got a flue on top of your roof that doesn't have any sort of mesh, go down to Bunnings, buy one of these new cowlings, swap it over, and that's going to save you a lot of money and stop me from having to go out and pull the animal out, because I'd rather, be out of business, which will never ever happen, but if we can stop a lot of these animals...
Just a bit of chicken wire.
It is. So another one that we do is under houses. When a cat gets hit by a car, where's the first place it goes, Simon?
They go to hide under a house.
Under a house.
Sure.
And they always pick the houses that you can't get underneath. So I've got to go and start cutting up floorboards and ripping up carpet and all sorts of things to get into those areas. So if you've got a hole that leads to underneath your house, please seal it off. Close the trapdoors. Very simple things that we can do. And the one thing that really bugs me are these multi-million-dollar shopping centres. Where they've got big atriums in them, big glass roofs on them. Why don't they build a window?
So you can open it to let the birds out once they get in, because there's always birds in shopping centres.
There is.
And in factories. And in the hangars.
Yes, warehouses. We did a lot of hours last year in the warehouses. But with the shopping centres, just simple, construct a window that you can open up, whether it's remote control or press a button, and when the bird feels the draft come through, they just fly straight out. Because they can be difficult when they're 80 foot up in the air.
And you're running around with a net on a pole.
And I'm running around with a net on the ground, or sometimes I'm in a cherry picker as well.
That's even taken you to prison, hasn't it, at times?
Yes, it has. I've been into the Barwon prison, and I've been into
I thought
the Melbourne
you'd been arrested for it. I'm thinking, what do you mean?
No, I've been into jail a few times actually in the last 12 months, which is certainly an interesting experience.
You've been in the women's jail, been in the Dangerous Foss?
No, not that one. I did go into, where was the one up in Darwin that we went to?
A Fanny Bay.
Fanny Bay
And
jail.
do they frisk you before you go in?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Right.
I get the metal wand, and you go
goes
into
there all the time.
You go into the air machine that puffs
course.
up the air for drugs and all those sorts of things.
Oh, they can see right through you, those
Oh, yeah,
machines.
absolutely.
No modesty there. Now, Michelle's called in for you, Nigel. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle, you there? Well, Phil,
Yeah, I'm here.
Michelle is a person that that I had to get in contact with because we had a snake on the table here the other week.
We did last time.
And we
here,
didn't
2
have an
weeks
owner
ago.
for the snake. Well, guess who the owner is?
Michelle, we found you.
See me. Well, actually, it's my mum's snake, but I like to help her.
So how did Nigel make contact with you?
Actually, my Uncle Mark heard the snake on the radio and went, oh, well, those guys have misplaced their snake kind of thing, escaped. And so I actually called up Nigel on my Uncle Mark's advice. Got in contact with Nigel.
Oh, what a reunion that was.
Radio, so, yeah.
So it was directly through 3AW that we're able to find Michelle.
Now, let me ask Michelle, how long ago did the snake go missing?
Oh, probably about February. It's been
February?
quite some time.
No.
Yep.
And you're not going to believe it. So the snake's been out the end of summer, autumn, made it through winter until we obviously found it. And once I was given the address of where the snake disappeared from, you're not going to believe where I found it.
In the
2 doors away.
Oh, no.
2 doors away. So I knew straight away that it was going to be their snake.
Didn't you discover it in the roof of this house?
It was in a garage. It was in the rafters of a garage,
Yes.
and there's lots of holes around this garage. And the fellow was putting his whippersnipper away, and as he looked up, he saw this big snake up there. So it was a great reunion, and I was so glad to find you, Michelle. Or I should say, you found me.
And what was the reaction of the snake when you were reunited?
Very, very happy. Gave it a big cuddle.
Oh, how gorgeous
I've got a
is
little
that?
video of it, Phil. I'll show it to you.
Oh,
later.
we're very happy for you, Michelle.
Now, Michelle, this might be a really unusual and perhaps stupid question, but just through ignorance, I'm going to ask it anyway. Do snakes have like an emotional connection with their owners?
Well, they don't exactly come or bring a stick or anything like that. When you
Well, snakes are deaf.
Well, there you go. They do definitely have personalities unique to their own, and they do know their owners from other people. For example, if I'm holding the snake and someone else will put their hand out, he'll just curl around my neck more.
Oh, is that wonderful?
He does know.
So he would have been happy to be home, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, he was very happy.
Well, you'll all live happily ever after thanks to Nigel, Michelle.
Yes, very thanks to Nigel. He did a wonderful
Oh,
job.
it's great to talk to you. I couldn't be more delighted. I know what it's like for a pet to go missing and the heartbreak it causes.
Yeah, not a good feeling, especially because we didn't know where he got to.
Of course.
Back of your mind.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind, and that's one thing I love about my work is I can give closure to a lot of people in a lot of
Exactly.
situations.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great feeling to be able to do
All right,
that.
Michelle, thanks very much for calling in, and
worries.
may you both live happily ever after. Now, Nigel, this will be close to your heart. I don't have the address, unfortunately, but our friend Jeff Weir, Simon, from the Dolphin Research Institute, is having a special function in Frankston next Thursday evening at 7:30. I'm sure you're in favour of the work they do.
Absolutely.
Nigel.
Anybody that supports animals is a friend of mine.
Now, why they're doing this on Tuesday night, Jeff says it's to tell the story of the Dolphin Research Institute, to gain support and also to celebrate their 21st anniversary. That's how long they've been going.
That's fantastic.
And the function will be in Frankston on Tuesday evening next at 7:30. For the address and to RSVP, would you please call on Monday, 1300 130 949. 1300 130 949. I know you're a financial supporter of the Dolphin Institute, and they do such grand work.
They do a fabulous job.
And in fact, over the years, we've talked many times to Jeff Weir.
Yes, I've even been down to the Dolphin Research Institute down in Hastings.
Yes.
That's right, yep.
Yes, and I went to a function at Patterson River there one time with Dame Elizabeth Murdoch, and I'm really greatly in favour of the work that Jeff and the boys and girls do down there.
Yeah, well, I certainly recommend for everybody to go down and certainly support them financially because, you know, all the people like that do that sort of work, they do need as much support as possible.
Now, we've got news for you. We run a thing with Colonial First State every couple of months. They do a very good job giving us money to give away to charity. And one of the charities that was nominated and won a $2,000 cheque from Colonial First State was friends of yours.
Kathy from Gunya.
Yes, we're so pleased for her.
Yes, no, that was wonderful, and that certainly helped out. But unfortunately, that money's gone already so quickly.
Yes.
So anybody that wants to support her, please do support her.
Because we understand there was almost dire straits financially. A lot of these charities really struggle to get by.
They do struggle for sure. The animals do get it hard.
Well, it's not only the medicine, but it's a feed too. For
it is. That's a bit of a gripe that I have actually, because the big major organisations out there, I constantly get calls. I really sometimes wonder what it is they actually go out and do in the suburbs. They really just don't have the staff that get out there on the hands-on with the animals out there. They're all sort of in their own little groups, and
places like Gunya wouldn't have any government support.
No. All the charities are all non-government funded, and it's all up to the public.
This is Nigel of Nigel's Animal Rescue.
And when you rescue animals and go and get things out of people's chimneys and gutters and roofs and things, you have to hand them on to these places.
That's right.
Some of the bigger places aren't interested.
That's right.
You have to hand them to the people who are prepared to do the work in rehabilitating or whatever the word is.
And that is done by wonderful volunteers, and they fund it out of their own back pocket. It's amazing, the people that I've met over the years, the dedication of the work that they do 24/7. They do it unsung, no money coming in, and they'd rather feed the animals and feed themselves.
Yeah, they're real heroes, aren't they?
Yeah. Now, the other thing I want to sort of quickly touch on is lately, as I'm driving around the roads, I've been on a few country roads, turtles, they're coming out. I'm driving just out the back of Traralgon on Tuesday on the way back from being up in the high country, and I had 3 cars in front of me. They all speeding down the road. Then I came along and thought, oh, hang on, I better stop for this one. There was a dinner plate-sized turtle in the middle of the road. They had all driven directly over the top of it. They all could have stopped, but they didn't. So obviously I stopped, and I've picked up this little turtle. It was so cute. He had his head tucked into his shell, and he's looking out thinking, oh, here comes the next car. And so I was able to rescue him. But there's been 2 turtles that I've picked up off the roads. And so, if you see something on the road, please, you're talking about roadkill. So that was 2 that we stopped from being roadkill.
Right.
But the other one that we're getting out at the moment constantly are echidnas. I'm getting multiple calls for echidnas in people's backyards, on the roads. So just very quickly, we don't like to move echidnas out of their area, especially at this time of the year once they've been breeding, because they will wander away from their nests and spend a couple of days away from their nests gathering food up before they go back. So if we go in and pick up an echidna and move him to somewhere else, he may not make it back home again.
Yeah.
So if you do find an echidna in your yard, please remove the cats, remove the dogs, try to leave him alone and let him wander out the same way that he came in.
All right, good thought.
But a quick little question to you, Simon. What do you call a baby echidna?
A baby echidna?
Yes, I've heard you talk about different animals over the years. I've never heard an echidna, Phil. Do you know?
Would it just be a kitten?
I know them as spiny anteaters.
Right, that's the other word for an echidna, is a spiny anteater.
What do you call a baby? Like a horse has a foal.
Perhaps just a kid.
Right, no, I'll tell you, it's called a puggle.
A puggle?
A puggle.
Oh, well, yes, puggles were a stuffed toy craze.
Yes, they were.
About 15 years ago.
Oh, well,
maybe more.
Now, just before you leave us, Stephen would like a word with you. Nigel?
G'day, Steve.
G'day, Nigel. Look, Nigel, I was in a bit of a dilemma. I was at the shopping mall tonight, and it was getting a bit dark, and I noticed when I parked the car in the car park, I jumped out, and I heard a baby type of bird, squealing, or sort of, I could tell, because I've bred birds in the past. And it was a little baby sparrow, and it was right in front of me on probably fallen out of a nest from one of the trees in the car park itself. And I didn't know what to do. I was in a hurry, and I grabbed it and I held it, and I tried to look for the nest, and I couldn't find anything. It was getting really dark, and I just put it back where I found it. What could I have done to help that little bird?
Okay, well, there are a lot of birds out and about at the moment. The first thing we've got to distinguish is whether or not it's native or whether or not it's vermin.
Yes.
Now, sparrows being vermin, like pigeons, starlings, Indian miners, we suggest people to take those ones to the vets, because it is illegal for the wildlife shelters to hand raise vermin.
Okay.
So anything like that would go off to a vet, and any wildlife, then we locate the closest shelter to you in your area that can take it and look after it.
Oh, great.
There you are. There's your answer. That was very humane of you, Stephen. Now, Nigel, before you leave us, give us a contact number in case we want to be in touch with you.
My number is 0427 533 083.
Okay, and your internet?
My Facebook page, where I upload little videos each day, which you'll see that snake that we had in here the other week, is just Nigel Williamson, my name, or look for Nigel's Animal Rescue.
All right, and the number again, if we're in trouble, 0427 533 083. See you next Friday night.
Terrific, we'll be here.